Welcome back to this World of Warcraft Let's Play. You're Sambo, and joining us, as always, is Seraphis, our level 39 now Worgen Mage. Say g'day, Seraphis.
Our fates are intertwined.
Our fates are indeed intertwined, and of course, if you joined us in the last episode, you'll know we're here in the Barrens. That's right, the Southern Barrens. We've been hunting our little hearts out here recently, and of course we're back at the forward command here, all ready to hand in to General Hawthorne. What are we handing in, you might say? We've got this one here, a line in the dirt where we had to capture a neutral hill in the Fields of Blood and defend it against a horde counterattack. We absolutely did that. We forgot about it last time, but we finally completed that and we're ready to hand in. But before we go on, there is one thing that we haven't done, and you can see here that of course is to spend one of our talent points, and we desperately need to do that because of course a talent point not spent is, well, it's basically silly. So we don't want to be silly. We're wasting it there, having it sit just there doing nothing. Now we've got quite a few cool choices now that we've got this new row opened up here of talents, and I'll go through them quickly. We've got improved polymorph, and you can see there if we put a point into that, and by the way you can put 2 points total into this one. When a target you've polymorphed is damaged, instead of basically breaking that polymorph, which of course is a sheep, and I'm sure you know what that is by now, that target is stunned for 1.5 seconds, and of course if we put 2 points in there, presumably that target would be stunned for 3 seconds, and it says that this effect cannot occur more often than once every 10 seconds. I've got another one here which is called Arcane Tactics, and we've got 1 rank, 0 out of 1 at the moment. Increases the damage of all party and raid members within 100 yards by 3%. So that's just a flat, solid 3% damage across all damage types, and that is very powerful and a very good group buff, so we'll likely run with that one. We'll just check out the other ones here. Incanter's Absorption. When your Mana Shield or Mage Ward absorbs damage, and of course you know that we've got this, that is our Mage Ward, so whenever that absorbs damage, your spell damage, so our spell damage, is increased by the 10% of the amount absorbed of the damage, that is, for 10 seconds. So basically, if we take 100 damage, then basically 10% is the amount that our spell damage is increased by for 10 seconds. So pretty cool little buff to have there. And you can see with 2 points available, I'm going to presume that either we increase our spell damage by 20% or the amount of time that we get is doubled to 20 seconds. Not sure, can't remember. In addition, when your Mana Shield is destroyed, all enemies within 6 yards are knocked back for 12 yards. So that, again, is a very powerful talent to have. Another really handy one here for good old Arcane Explosion, which is, of course, this one. Now you can see at the moment the cost of that is very high. If you ever look at our other items here, you can see 66 mana here, 74, etc, etc. Arcane Explosion is 124 cost. So it's a very expensive AoE, very powerful but very expensive. This here basically improves it, and it says it reduces the global cooldown of your Arcane Explosion spell by 0.3 seconds. And it reduces the threat generated by 40%. Now, that's very cool because, of course, as a mage, we don't want to be generating threat because we're dealing damage, and that's especially going for when we're in raids and when we're in 5-man instances and dungeons and stuff like that. So that is a very, very handy tool. And it also reduces the mana cost by 25%. So, again, a very significant mana cost reduction. Now, you know what? To be perfectly honest, all of these are viable right now. All of them are. They're all good, and we are going to spec into all of them. Right now, what I want to do is pop a point into Arcane Tactics here. So if we learn that, yes, we're sure we want to learn it, and look up the top there. If you're running in WoW for yourself and you have a mage in the party, you will have seen this buff appear on your own character, and that's been given out by the mage in the group, of course. And you can see here, damage dealt is now increased, bottom flat rate, by 3%, which is just fantastic. So absolutely, we're taking that now, and that's permanently on us unless we change our talents. So yay, congratulations to you, Seraphis. All right, now that we're done done with that, we need to speak with General Hawthorne here. A line in the dirt, and you can see here your report mage. The General updates his map as you describe your victory, because of course we retook the hill. Where is it? Over there, I think, by that tower. Incredible, Seraphis, you're a real asset to the Alliance. That's right, we are. I'll see to it that my men follow your example. And you can see we get ourselves here some robes of the bloody field, which are the only cloth item reward in this quest. But unfortunately, even though we get one more intellect than we've already got with our current robes, you can see we lose 7 spirit. Now, I'm not willing to do that because spirit is basically our mana regen, and we're going to start needing that really soon as we start running lots more dungeons, which of course, as you know, is going to be very shortly. So what we'll do instead is take the item that is worth the most, and that in this case is the Hawthorne's shield. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. Of course, we'll never be able to use that, but let's complete the quest. Whoops, select that, complete the quest.
Bless you.
And there we go, 1650 XP, and our reputation with Stormwind upped by 250 points. And of course, we hit U to bring that up. You can see we're just a smidge away. Look at that, from being exalted. And oh, not exalted, sorry. What are we? We're wanting to go to revered. Sorry, getting myself confused there. We go from honoured to revered, like the Gilnean reputation up here. So just probably one more quest to hand in, and we will get to revered. And that's great, because that means, of course, you know, once we get to exalted, like we did with Darnassus, what does that mean? That's right, it means we can go buy ourselves a horsey horse. That's right, the racial mount of humans is a horse, so we'll be able to grab that as well. And you know how much I love my mounts, so we'll be definitely going to get that. Clap him in irons is the name of the next quest. Our policy of conscripting non-violent criminals from Stormwind stockades, speaking of Stormwind, has come back to haunt us, Seraphis. Some of my less scrupulous soldiers broke ranks after our victory in Taurajo and are looting the remains of the city. Oh, now actually, when we went over to the remains of Taurajo, we actually saw that. We saw those looters over there, and we were very disgusted by them, if you remember. It was a couple of episodes ago. This is a breakdown in discipline. Worse, the desecration of their homes only spurs the enemy to fight harder when our ultimate goal should be peace. Now, I like the way General Hawthorne thinks, to be honest. Take these manacles and bring the Taurajo Looters to justice. Speak to them first, but you may need force to subdue them. So we have to speak to Taurajo Looters in the Taurajo ruins and place them under arrest. Use the Northwatch manacles to subdue 5 wounded looters. So, and by the way, excuse my voice today, folks. Again, a case of pretty much losing it, doing so many recordings all in one day. One of these days I'm actually going to lose my voice, I reckon. Shocking. So apologies if it sounds a little bit weird today. Anyway, there you can see the Northwatch manacles. Use is that it claps a pair of manacles on a wounded Taurajo looter. You are the law. Now, come on, folks. Again, another opportunity here for you to retain your geek badge. If you don't know the answer to this one, then I'm pretty sure not only will you not get internet points, but you're going to have to hand back your nerdy geek badge. Who said you are the law? Well, rather, no one said you are the law, actually, but what is that a reference to? It's I'll give you a clue. It's mainly a comic, but it was also made into a movie quite a few years ago. And I'll give you another clue. All right, here you go. You are the law. You are the law. All right, that's my best impersonation. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, well, maybe you won't know. Anyway, maybe I'll put you off then. All right, so what is that all about? What is that flavor text referring to? Okay, let's pick up this other quest I can see over here as well. Ambassador Gaines, hello to you. And the Taurajo briefs. The General is too preoccupied with the looters in Taurajo. Too soft. We ought to be focused on our next move against the Horde. There's valuable intelligence that might be compromised if we allow the ruins of Taurajo to continue to burn. Well, you couldn't get more black and white, these two, could you? Basically, General Hawthorne, they're all for keeping the peace and respect, and Ambassador Gaines here is all for basically stripping it down. Anyway, while you're running the General's errand, dig around for any maps or notes that you can find. I can speak a little of the Orcish tongue. I'll be able to make sense of what you find. So there you go. Our quest objectives are to search the ruins of Taurajo for 3 pieces of Taurajo Intelligence. Alright, so it looks like we've got our work cut out for us. Let's quickly make our way to a vendor down here. And it's a Vista will stop hitching. Come on. Behave yourself, Vista.
What's on your mind?
Alright, let's just get rid of that shield because of course it was no use to us. And there we are, all ready to rock and roll. Let's mount up. We'll make sure that we've got our molten armor. It already is up, that's good. And we can easily follow the quest arrow up on our mini-map, of course, or as always, look on the main map and head in that general direction. Of course, we're heading to the Ruins of Taurajo. Heartbreaking stuff. And again, this road bringing back so many memories. You know what's down there, folks, if you've played this game before. Way down the bottom there is Razorfen Crawl. Way down the bottom, Razorfen Crawl and Razorfen Downs. I think that's the name of them. Gosh, it's been a while. Very, very significant instances as you were leveling through the Barrens, of course. One of them very difficult to get around. Lots of people got lost all the time. All right, here is a Taurajo Looter.
How are you?
You're under arrest.
See you around.
You'll never take me alive. We shall see. All right, now let's see if these manacles here work on a wounded... Oh, we can't do that yet. All right, so maybe we've got to wound them more. Can't do that yet. Gosh, how much do we have to wound them? Oh. Okay, so we went from you can't do that just yet to whoopsie, we killed them. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe this is where the wand comes into play, I think. We'll get them right down to about a quarter health, 25%. Oh, whoops, whoops. Ooh, that was lucky. Alright, and let's see if we can use these and clap him in eye. Oh, interrupted? What the heck? Alright, we're not doing too well at this, are we, so far? Right, let's try this again. Alright, here's a looter. Oh, and there's some plans over there too,
Hello.
I can see. Alright, you are under arrest. Let's lock him down. Throw off a fireball at him. And I wonder if a scorch hopefully won't kill him. Alright. There we go. Taurajo Looters arrested 1 out of 5. We did it. Let's just... Oh god, we're going to die. Here we go. Give ourselves a healing potion. Wow, that was close. Alright, see if we can use our... There we go. So we have to get them way down in health before we can use the handcuffs, basically. It's quite... Yeah, I'd say it's about 25%. Anyway, in the meantime, here we go. Taurajo Intelligence. That is for our other quest there. You can see there. Our quest item, if we hover over it, a pile of scrawled missives detailing horde movements through Mulgore, Durotar, and the Barrens. Wow, okay, that's going to be a powerful piece of information to bring back home. Anyhow, we need to conjure ourselves. That's the other thing we didn't do. Conjure some refreshment so we can heal ourselves up in between fights. Because boy, were we getting pummeled then. I didn't even notice till the very last minute. And just as well, we've got these here in our backpack, the healing potions. At least they don't restore much, but they restore 320 health instantly. And that can be the difference, of course, between life and death. Now, the other thing we can use in between our fights, as always, are these heavy silk bandages. Now, speaking of bandages, are we able to... Oh, we are! Look at that. We can actually create some more. So let's do that, seeing as we're here. And hopefully raise our... There we go. First aid skill has increased to 212 now. Hopefully it'll skill up a few more times. Wow, you can see there it's taking a lot. 5, 6 bandages there without a skill increase. Okay, that was 7 bandages it took in that particular instance before we went to 213 on our first aid skill, which you can see up the top there. It's starting to get a bit hard, isn't it? A bit nasty. Alright, looks to me like there's some glowy bits in here. Probably another item for our quest. Yes, there is. Let's talk to this looter first.
Good day to you. Have a good one.
I ain't going back to the Clink lady. Well, I got some news for you, actually. Alright, let's see if we can use the handcuffs. No, we can't. Alright, we'll use our wand because it's not too much damage. And apparently that's still... That's terrible. We still killed them. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, we're not having much luck here, are we? Another set of intelligence there, and you can see we've got to find one more, by the way. There's 2 out of 3. Here's another looter. Hello, hello. Guess what, buddy? Your days are numbered. You're disgusting. Ransacking this village. Good lord. There we go. Clap them in irons. I'll yield. I'll go quickly. 3 out of 5. I think we're finally getting the hang of this. And, oh, this body looks like it's got... Oh, no, it's not a body. It's right next to it. There we go. 3 out of 3 of the intelligence items all done. Now we just need to speak to... Well, rather, arrest 2 more Taurajo Looters.
Safe travel.
Safe travels. Yeah, safe travels to the stockade, matey. Oh, he's got friends, the big wimp. And what we're going to do, we're going to polymorph and sheep that one. Oh, bugger. Oh, I was going to say, yeah, actually, I accidentally killed him. Right, boy, oh boy, this is hard to do. Clap him in irons, and we did it. Thank God for that. All right, we definitely need to heal ourselves up. Let's use one of our newly created bandages there. Oh, and we're poisoned. Look at that. We got... Yeah, damn it, because we were poisoned, it interrupted the bandage effect, and that's something you've got to be a little bit careful of, because you basically waste a bandage, and you can't use a bandage again straight away, by the way, folks. If you have a look at this little debuff we've got up here, it's called recently bandaged, and you can't be bandaged basically for another 60 seconds, so that just prevents you from spamming bandages on yourself, pretty much. So, yeah. Have to use our conjured food, but that's okay. We've got heaps of it, and again, it doesn't cost anything to use. Now, make sure we reset our molten armor there. You can see it was about to run out. All right, 1 more of these looters to go.
Hey there. See you around.
Oh, and they bring friends again. There we go, clap them in irons. And of course this one we can just afford to kill, because we have now finished. And there you go, there was the poison that prevented our bandaging before. So you can see 3 seconds remaining. We won't use another bandage until that has gone. And there it is. Now we should be safe to use a bandage. And there we go, you can see it healing us away. Basically ticking in lots of 80, you can see there, and that pretty much healed us up to full. And we are done. It's back to the forward command for us now that we've doled out justice to 5 of those nasty Taurajo Looters there. I feel a little bit better about that. Again, even though it's the Horde, and yes, they're technically our enemy, that was uncalled for. Those guys there were pretty peaceful, and yeah, it may have been a staging ground for the main Horde forces, but end of the day, it was just full of lovely Taurans trying to make a living, and clearly the Alliance has gone in and razed it to the ground. Not very nice at all. And of course, those Taurajo Looters adding insult to injury by desecrating the bodies and stealing all of the goods. Never mind, we put a bit of a dent in their progress about that. Let's repair up, sell off our junk.
See you soon.
See you soon.
What can I do for you?
All right, clap 'em in irons. Is the Taurajo situation under control? I do believe it is. Well done, Seraphis. Several of the looters have already crawled back requesting clemency. I'll let them stew for a bit in the Northwatch Brig. Good, they deserve it. Thank you for helping maintain discipline in the ranks. It's important for our army to be perceived as soldiers and not common bandits, and I couldn't agree more. There we go, Stormwind. 250, gosh, we must be close. Let's have a look at this. Oh, we are. I think actually I was wrong about being 1 quest away. I think I'll quickly do the math there. Have a sip of tea. Yeah, I think we've got, 1 more. 1 more quest and we'll do it. So maybe handing into Ambassador Gaines there will tip our, it should tip our reputation over, I think. All right, meet me at Triumph. Thanks in part to your efforts, we've stabilized the situation here. Excuse me. Come back, voice. We need to turn our attention south. All right, so this is good, folks. We're going to follow on even further south into the zone by the sound of things. We're heading to Fort Triumph, and that is the keystone of our operation in the Barrens. Oh, this will be interesting. I haven't been there before. It sounds like a new fort, because of all the Cataclysm content. The vital land link between Northwatch and Theramore. Ooh! Okay, well, let's have a look here, and just to refresh you guys, Theramore is the major city here, where that question mark is, basically, in Dustwallow Marsh. And, of course, this is Dustwallow Marsh. This is what it looks like. Very, very cool area now. Dustwallow Marsh used to be just a little bit meh, a little bit boring. Over the years, they've added bits to it. Now it is completely very cool. And there are a number of really good quest lines in there. In fact, if you get that sinking feeling, pardon the pun, because it's a swampy area, about going into Dustwallow Marsh, don't anymore. It's excellent. It's a really, really good zone, and we will probably end up there, I'd say. Anyway, Theramore is the capital city. You can see there, when I hover over the flight point there, you can see up the top here it says Theramore, Dustwallow Marsh. Now, a very important lore character resides there, actually, by the name of Jaina Proudmoore, and I'm sure you've heard of her before. If you haven't, look her up. She, like Thrall, is a exceptionally important character in the lore of Warcraft, not just World of Warcraft. And of course, if you've played Warcraft 3, you will have known all about Jaina Proudmoore. So yeah, that's where she lives, and this is the Southern Barrens right next door to Dustwallow Marsh. I'm thinking that, there you go, you can see there, we've got a flight point down at the south there. That is indeed Fort Triumph. Now that is new because we never had a flight point halfway down there, ever in the past, so that's something that's been brought about by the new content in the Cataclysm. And of course, you can see we are going to make our way further south. Getting close to where you head into the Dustwallow Marsh, because you get in there, well, one way of getting into the Dustwallow Marsh is from the Barrens, and in fact that's pretty much one of the main ways of getting in there. So this could be very interesting. Let's have a chat and finish off this quest.
Well met.
I'll pack up and head out to Fort Triumph separately. Report to Commander Roberts at the fortress, and I will see you there soon. Together, we will secure the frontier. So, wow, look at that. It's a big journey. We've got to report to Commander Roberts at Fort Triumph in the Southern Barrens. If we have a look at our map. Whoops, map. There we are. So you can see it's to the south of us there. All right, that's exciting that we get to move on downwards. And we've got Ambassador Gaines here. The Taurajo briefs. Have you searched the ruins yet? Yes, we have. What have you dug up for me? Interesting. This notice from Orgrimmar indicates a change in Horde leadership. And that, indicates that a change in Horde leadership is underway. Now, we do know about that, by the way. I won't spoil the surprise there. I guess heads are going to roll after what we did to Taurajo. What's this? A death warrant for the General here? This is good to know. Very good to know. That's interesting. It's not good to know at all.
Light bless you.
And look at that. There we go. The green glow saying that we are now, you can see it in the chat log, in fact, you are now revered with Stormwind. So we were right with our calculations. There we go. That is now another reputation that we're powering through. That's great. So you can see we've got 21,000 points. Seems like a lot to get through to Exalted. I think the next Exalted we may get is hopefully Gilneas. You can see we're 14,500 out of 21,000 there. So we're getting closer, but I would love to get Stormwind because, again, it means that we'll get the horsies. Alright, so he's got no follow-up for us. Looks like we are, in fact, done here. Whoops, if we have a look at our bags, everything that we need is there. What is that? They are going to go on the auction house. I think we need to make our way south down to this flight point for a number of reasons. Obviously, it's because we want to progress further into the Barrens. There's no doubt about that. But we also need a flight point because we're pretty soon going to have to head back to Darnassus, and I want to be able to grab this flight point so we can get back easily, of course, and set up our new base of operations. Who's that over there? Oh, Northwatch Recon. So, it'll be good to go get that and see what's there, pick up some new quests. And I think what we'll do is we'll take a nostalgic journey down the old Gold Coast Road here, the old Gold Road or whatever it's called, I can't remember now. But this, again, surely for those of you who have played back in the old days, is a very familiar sight. Having to traverse down here, not like this, but like this. That's right, this is what it was like in the old days. And of course, if you were a mage, you used this whenever it was up, running through the Barrens. And there's the rear of Taurajo there. We would have gone through the crossroads way up the top here. And now we would be running down the center of the Barrens. And tell you what, if you're on a PvP server, this was a very interesting run. I'll tell you that much. Very, very interesting. And by interesting, I mean dangerous. Because, of course, you were basically open PvP gank fodder around here. Now, this is all new. What you might remember over here, I think, the Silithid. Oh, what do we got here? Desolation Raider. It might be a little bit further on, but there are Silithid ruins and mounds coming up somewhere, I believe. They might be around there, just a little bit further south. Hopefully, they're still there, and we have to do quests around them. But all of this, look at this. It's the big tier. There's another big chasm here. The landmass has indeed shifted. This is new. This was never here before. So this was all basically flat land prior to the cataclysm. Oh, and you can see it's basically a war trench now. Look at this. We've got a war front. Look at this. The atmosphere has changed now. There's all the Battlescar. Okay, that makes sense. And there's a mounted Stormwind soldier there, a Triumph captain.
Well met.
Well met to you instead, indeed. And yeah, look at this. These are basically the front lines, folks. Look at that. We've got ourselves a Triumph War Griffin up there patrolling. And yeah, look, this is face to face. Look, we've got the Horde over there, over one side of the trenches, and of course the Alliance over the other. And if this isn't as stereotypical as it gets in terms of the message that's been conveyed in the new patch, in of course the new content, the Cataclysm content, then I don't know what is. And look at that, we've actually got ourselves a Horde Hunter there, an Orc Hunter, and of course we're not on a PvP server, so he's safe. But were we on PvP, he would be probably crapping his pants about now, because we would be fighting him. And there you go, you can see we've got a Desolation Wind Rider there as well. So this is absolutely Horde versus Alliance, and it sounds to me, by the looks of things, like the Horde are being sent over here to attack the Alliance. I would say that's what's happening, and I would also say, oh, Desolation Raider, eh? I would also say that we're going to be sent over into the Horde territory, probably to do exactly the same thing. And again, there were complaints, or not complaints, but people used to say, hey, you know, the whole Horde versus Alliance thing has kind of taken a bit of a back seat. And of course, in Wrath of the Lich King, we were doing tournaments together and all sorts of crazy stuff. This really brought it all back home. The Cataclysm expansion has really brought to the forefront the whole Horde versus Alliance change, if you like, back into the faction war, and a lot of that is because of the leadership, including the Horde leadership, of course, which is now headed by Garrosh. Let's have a wave. Oops, not wave. Oh, come on. Okay, that took 4 goes for me to do a wave. I need my sleep, folks. How bad is that? Alright, so... Oh, and I can't even run straight. Alright, I definitely need some sleep. There's no doubt about it. Running right down into the battlefront there. But look at that. We've got a major Horde outpost over there. Look at that. Can you see it? Hopefully on the YouTube video. That's a major fortress over there. Hopefully we've got the same. Let's mount up and get to our destination. Now that you've had a bit of a rundown of what is going on. And yep, look, we've got some pretty major fortifications here in the way of Fort Triumph. So good to see. And what do we got here? A sapper specialist blowing himself up, I might add. Alright, so they're trying to breach the castle walls, obviously. Let's get ourselves inside. This is all absolutely new. Oh, look at that. We get a salute as we wander on in. And there we go. Got ourselves Steve Stevenson. Hello, Steve Stevenson, a flight master, and you can see we can actually fly all the way into Theramore and the Dustwallow Marsh, up to Northwatch Hold, well, rather back to Northwatch Hold, and down to Mudsprocket, which again is also a relatively new town, not with the expansion, but a relatively new town that got put into Dustwallow Marsh. Okay, so what I'm looking for are some repairs. We've got an innkeeper there, very interesting. Got a peasant labourer.
Whoa.
And we've got all sorts of NPCs around here looking for repairs. And there we go. You can see, of course, the little anvil symbol on our map. And that means that we've got ourselves, there we go, engineering supplies. Let's heal up. Sell off our junk.
Very good.
And let's hand in to wrap up this episode here. Commander Roberts, greetings. Meet me at Triumph. Have you heard the General never made it? What? What's going on? That's the General we were just dealing with. He was killed in the field like some kind of dog. Oh my god. Okay, well,
Alliance.
gosh, were he still alive to avenge himself, General Hawthorne would have no doubt ordered a retaliatory massacre of biblical proportions. You are quite right, Trask. Oh dear, these guys seem like they're kind of battle crazed as well. Oh, this can only end in tears if you ask me. Oh well, it's going to be an interesting period as we settle in here for a new bunch of quests. And you can see that the map has opened up, and yeah, we've got this whole Battlescar area down here. We've got the Desolation Hold over the Scar there, which is the Horde outpost. And of course, we've got Fort Triumph here, face to face, either side of the very harsh battle lines. It looks like it's going to be us versus the Horde. You know what? It's been a long time since we've done that in terms of questing. I'm really looking forward to it. So certainly hope you guys are as well. Hope you enjoyed that episode. Certainly hope you'll join me in the next one. As always, on behalf of myself, Sambo, and Seraphis, our wonderful level 39 Worgen Mage, is us saying take care. Certainly hope you're having a great day wherever in the world you are. Look forward to seeing you next time. We'll see you then, and bye-bye.